Hello. Today we will be talking about Arthur Dimmesdale, a minister in the town in which everybody lives in a Scarlet Letter. So, Arthur Dimmesdale he has a very interesting dynamic. So, at first he's a minister. Everybody in the town really likes him. Everybody enjoys his presence, and then everybody learns about not everybody. The reader uncovers his sickness and that it's very bad, he's in a not a good state, and that he needs help. So in comes Chillingsworth, who's obviously Hester's ex-husband. And Chillingsworth is a doctor, or at least he claims to be a very certified one, a very official one. And he moves into Dimmesdale's house to help him with his issues. So upon helping out Dimmesdale, Chillingsworth uncovers a secret on his chest, and the reader can only believe that the thing that Chillingsworth uncovers is the A for adulterer, that the whole town clearly kept a secret because they don't want the minister to be known as an adulterer. So this makes his life really hard. Chillingsworth makes Dimmesdale's life very hard because he knows that only one other person could have been the adulterer, and it has to be Hester. And since Chillingsworth is Hester's ex-husband or ex-lover, he knows that it's Dimmesdale and Hester. So Chillingsworth, he makes Dimmesdale's life absolutely miserable. He tortures him emotionally, and he makes his life very hard. So as a result of this, Dimmesdale starts to make very powerful sermons. He's releasing all of his pain to all of his followers, and people aren't really complaining. People aren't really noticing all these things that are going on because of his powerful sermons. He's really getting his message across. But after a while, his pain really starts to get to him, and he goes to a scaffold, the public scaffold up for embarrassment, and he releases all of his pain, emotional and physical, the physical pain in his chest and the emotional pain from what Chillingsworth is doing to him, and he just yells as loud as he can at the top of his lungs. And this is a release. This kind of shows the freedom that he felt, and as well that's kind of the end of his emotional pain and physical pain. But then again, he and Hester later on go into the woods and talk, and he and Hester, they talk about their plans. They plan on going to England and escaping from this place in New England. And everything seems like it's going to be well. But after his final sermon, Dimmesdale dies because he tries to use the final moments of his life to, redeem himself and show that, he can still be a good person under God's eyes. And, Dimmesdale, he tries his best to do what he thinks is right, but he ends up dying, still an adulterer, never really truly fixing his relationship with Hester, never ever really building a relationship with Pearl. And I think that Chillingsworth ultimately, he wins this battle. He destroys Dimmesdale physically and emotionally, and Dimmesdale breaks down. But Dimmesdale never gets to build his family, and he never gets to love his daughter. And I think that's a big thing that comes out of Dimmesdale's entire life. I think his life can be viewed as a failure to most because just no family. And although he's great for the town delivering these sermons, in his head even, he's still a sinner. So yeah, Dimmesdale led a very interesting life. A minister, a secret sinner, and somebody that never got to form a family of his own. I hope you enjoyed. And that's Arthur Dimmesdale, a minister from A Scarlet Letter. Alright, in addition to all those things that were said about Dimmesdale, as well, I would like to add that Dimmesdale has these times in his life where he releases all these things. So, for one instance, when he's on the scaffold, like just yelling, releasing all his pain, he has freedom. He feels free. He releases all his pain, freedom there. And then second time is when he's in the woods and it's just really him and Hester, and Pearl's playing along in the background, and he feels free there when he thinks about going to England, freedom there, a new life. And then finally when he dies and he's upon the scaffold, in front of, many people. He experiences freedom because he frees himself of his sins, and he frees himself of the life and having to carry a secret burden. So yeah, that's how Dimsdale has freedom.